Hey, what's up, guys? It's Thursday night. It's time for our Q&A before your writing assessment tomorrow. Your writing assessment will post at midnight tonight. There are 4 total questions on it. You need to make sure that you write 4 to 6 sentences for each question. All of it deals with different parts of the 1950s, all right? Make sure you are also getting your reading questions done for me. Remember, you don't have to reshare it. Once you've already shared it with me, it's good to go. I'll be able to see it in your folder. Just make sure you have that in. If you haven't shared it, please do so. If you haven't taken the quiz yet, make sure you take the quiz. All right. Make sure you also get your source packets into me if you haven't done that so already. Make sure you either put that in your file folder that you're sharing with me on your Google Doc, or send me a picture of it, or get it to me through email, whatever that may be. Now on the quizzes, excuse me, it probably told you 1 out of 1 or 0 out of 1, or gave you like a 0% or 100%. Well, what I did is I went back through, I gave everyone 100%, but then I'll be able to check and look and see how many you missed based on the question. So if you got 0, don't worry, you actually didn't get a 0. Most of you probably either missed 1 or 2, or if you got 100%, that means you got them all right. So those will go in probably over break. So just waiting for some people to get those done. I'd extend it. Some people forgot, emailed me at midnight and said, "Oh, I'm sorry." That's okay. I understand it's been crazy. I'm having trouble keeping track of my days. I can't believe it's already Thursday night. I'll post this so you guys can have it for your test tomorrow. I'm sure probably most of you guys are wondering, like, it's Q&A. This is a lot more informal, hence why we're in the cutoff sweatshirt. So this is kind of a low-key event for us. All right, so let's get to the first question. Let me read through my emails real quick. Some of you, Kenzie in second period, asked me, can you explain question 39? Yeah, question 39, let me look at real quick. 12 parents' efforts to desegregate the city schools is known as what to the Supreme Court case? It is Brown versus Board of Education. It deals with integration of schools, public schools. This is when Thurgood Marshall used the Dahl test. I think it's in my video lecture 5 when we're talking about integration. So this is Brown versus Board of Education, and this is trying to integrate schools so African Americans and whites can go to the same schools. All right, good question though. And don't worry, some of you, my second period, a couple people in my first period, that I'm sure just didn't want to put on the discussion board. Madison and Alex, I will go over some of what the writing topics are, so you can study those. Let me see. Next question I got in an email. Kristen from first period. Quick question. After Truman came up with Executive Order 9081, was the military a hostile environment for African American soldiers, or was everyone okay with this new order? That's a great question. No, everyone was not okay with this. Now, if you're from the North, you're probably a little bit more okay with it because you're used to it with your way of life. If you're from a southern state or a western state or from the Great Plains, you're definitely not okay with this. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time for them to grow accustomed to this. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be hatred. Very similar to like the stories I told about Jackie Robinson crossing the color line for professional sports and baseball. You're going to have your own teammates, your own soldiers that don't like you or don't think you should be there. So yeah, there is going to be some problems with that, okay? But eventually it'll go better and will transition more smoothly than, say, integrating schools. Like, that's going to take 30 years. The military, either you're with it or we're going to kick you out. So, it's going to take a few years for everyone to be on the same page, but people will all jump on the same page. So it won't be too bad. Okay? Great question. Let me see. Email ones. That's all through the email, so let me check the discussion board. Let me scroll down through it real quick. What we got here? I see a lot of you guys commented on how great my outfits were. What can I say? It's my usual. I usually bring it every single day. Look good, teach good. Right? That's pretty much my persona. Did I skip number 6 on the reading questions? That is actually not true. Kind of true, not true though. There is a number 6. It's just on the same line as number 5. Is there a question for it? No. All right. So when you are turning in your reading questions, you can just leave number 6 blank, or you can skip it. I don't know what happened. I must have deleted it. But thank you, Rachel and Madison, for calling me out. I really appreciate Ryan coming to my defense and saying that there was a number 6, because there was. So let's not be too mean. All right. I don't know what the Word document did, but it was not nice to me. Ryan Gray asks, why is it called the Taft-Hartley Act? Who is involved in this? Well, I'll tell you the 2 people who are involved, Taft and Hartley, okay? They're both actually senators. Taft is from Ohio. Later, he will become governor of Ohio. But these are the 2 men that enact this. The whole purpose of this, it restricts the power and activity of unions in 1947. The unions had to sign a non-communist affidavits with the government, which means if you were going to join a union, it wasn't any way tied to communist activities. You weren't going to employ anybody that was a communist, all right? And so it kind of took the fear away from joining unions, and it also took the power away from unions. It went back to the employers. This simply means unions will not employ anyone that has communist connections or ties because of the early Cold War and the fear of communists in society. It gets its name from the 2 senators who opposed the bill. Like I said, Hartley was from New Jersey. Okay, so hopefully, Ryan, you got that. Anyone else had questions on that one? There we go. Let me see. What is number 14? Oh, number 14. Okay. This splintered Democratic Party stood for complete segregation of the races. This is the Dixiecrats, and this goes into one of the questions that you're going to have probably on your writing assessment, all right, which is going to ask you about that election. You know, I like to talk about elections, but in this election of 1948, what we're seeing here is the Democratic Party splits into 3, all right? So you have the radical left Democrats, which are like almost communist, socialists. They still like New Deal programs, things like that, and a lot of government spending. And then you have the Dixiecrats. Dixiecrats are those Southern people that want to get back to Southern way of life, segregation. They want a separate society between whites and blacks. They want that Confederate ideology, all right? And then you have the incumbent. Incumbent means a person who was in charge prior to the election. That is Truman. He is a moderate Democrat. And then you have the Republican, who is Dewey. Now, what's strange about this election is usually when we've seen in history 3 people splitting the vote, that's not good, right? You look at the Democrats before, that's what caused Lincoln to win the election in 1860. So everyone just assumed Dewey's going to become president, right? It makes sense. This guy is the face of the country. He's the only Republican running, so a lot of people are going to vote for him. The only problem is people still believed in Truman, and he was a moderate, so he still got some Republican votes. And people look back and say, man, this guy helped us out of World War II. He dropped a bomb on Japan. He saved so many American lives. He's guiding us through Korea, and so people really love him. And that's one of the main reasons why he wins re-election is the people can relate to him. They know what they're getting out of Truman, and they really respect him. All right, so that's really important. Let me see what else I got. Friday, you can say the Pledge of Allegiance if you want. It'll be Friday when you're doing this writing assessment, McKean. So go ahead, you can get after that one. All right, respect you for that. Good job. Test, yep. Test will be online too. That's why you had to make that Google Doc for it. Ryan, any clarification you need on that one? Question 17. All right, question 17 on ring questions. The desire to own something a little newer, a little better, a little sooner than necessary. Planned obsolescence. All right. This is like owning a cell phone, getting the newest iPhone as soon as it comes out. Do you really need it? Not really. But is it nice to have? Absolutely, and people judge you off of this. Number four talked about the first playing community nation, Levittown. Levitt towns were made. These were like housing developments that popped up all over, started in the East Coast and soon travels to the Midwest. A lot of soldiers buy Levitt townhomes. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath for the baby boom, right? You're having kids, you need that extra bedroom. Important question, Monty. What's your favorite color and why? Rachel, first period. First, let me say, hi, Rachel. But my favorite color is probably blue, even though I bleed black and orange now. But I think it's because when I was in high school, my colors were blue. One Tangy and at Liberty, so blue also looks great on me. I don't know about you guys, but I've been enjoying the sun these past few days, so I think I'm already starting to get my base tan going a little bit. But blue. So, and by the way, I am going to have a question today for you guys. It's going to be on the discussion board, so can't wait. It's going to be good. All right. Video lectures are quiet. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to be as loud as possible. It's hard because I'm in a big room, so it might echo a little bit. I don't have a microphone or anything like that, so I'm doing the best I can. I'll try and figure something else out to maybe help amplify it, but I don't own anything to help mic me up. I could do a recording at the same time, maybe put that up. I'll see in the future if we have to do this some more, getting you those, all right? Abby, sorry about your sister being loud. That's unfortunate. Amelia, great question. Are you supposed to post your question for the Q&A to the discussion board? Could. All right, I respond to you. Or email it to me. Could. Would you choose? Neither. So I don't have a question from Amelia, but that's all right. You know, at least you were thinking of it. Glad to see you join the class discussion. All right. Michaela asked me about number 40 on the reading questions. Number 40, let me see here. Explain the upset victory. Okay, we kind of talked about that one already, so hopefully you can go back and see that a little bit, and how Truman defeats Dewey. That's huge. So real quick, guys, I only got about 3 more minutes. I want to go over what 4 questions you're going to see on your writing assessment, kind of the topics. Election of 1948, which I talked about, so you guys should know that pretty well. You know, who's in it, who wins, why they win, what's important, what happens to the Democratic Party, what happens to the Republican Party. Another one is explaining some changes we see in the middle class during the 1950s. Think socially, economically, what's happening to the family structure, what are they getting, what can they buy, where are they living, where are they eating. So all that sort of stuff goes into it. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about for that one. Number 3, explain the idea of 2 Americas. That's huge. 2 Americas is the rich, which we just talked about in the previous question, and then the poor. All right. We had, I think it's video lecture 3, maybe a little bit of 4, talking about poor America and poverty in the United States. So that's something you're going to want to go back to. You know, where was it? Where was it most prevalent? How do people see people that are poor in the United States? What's our thought process about that? Do people judge them differently because of that? So that's all stuff you want to think about, all right? When you're answering that question, obviously there's probably going to be some more detail, but not every American view poverty the same way. And so that's a big thing, okay? And probably the last one I'd have to say, all right? Explain how segregation worked in the 1950s. We jump into segregation, but it's not quite the civil rights. We'll get into the civil rights next unit, but like, where do you see it? Where's it happening? What are some rules that people have to follow? How's it occurring in society? What's the social stigma around segregation? What are ways they're fighting segregation? So really just an overarching question talking about the division between color and race and society. All right. Guys, I'll share that stuff out with you. I'll post this tonight. I'll also have it on my video announcement tomorrow for you guys. I hope you guys are having a great online learning experience. I hope you guys have a fantastic spring break. One more day, then you guys are coast is clear and you guys can relax. Hopefully I see you guys back in the classroom. Real quick, question of the day for Friday. All right, I'm going to post this, so you got to put a response. I'm counting on you guys, especially first period. You love this. Think about it. What is the one thing you miss most about Delaware Hayes? All right? And now don't all of you say at once, Mr. Montgomery's class, because I know that's true. All right? But think about it. Tell me what you think. And make sure you post online. Leave a comment. Have a great spring break. Peace. I'm out.